family, my name is Renilo Murema. Welcome to the Native Talk. This isn't just a channel, it's a space for stories that matter, for conversations that carry weight, and for a continent that's tired of being misrepresented. I don't know if Donald Trump understands the meaning of a refugee. You save people from their war-ridden countries and you keep them safe in your country. You provide for them and eventually you integrate them into society to become citizens. You don't send them back to their war-ridden countries at the slightest inconvenience. The law on refugee asylum seekers does not allow you to return them to their war-ridden countries. Now, according to Donald Trump, South Africa is in the middle of a white genocide. 50+ Afrikaners fled to the United States for their safety, and now it looks like ICE is looking to deport them back to South Africa. Why is that? Because they committed crime? A little white crime never hurt nobody, guys. Donald is the one that opened the floodgates for these so-called white farmers seeking refuge from government persecutions in South Africa. They called themselves white farmers, yet none of them has ever owned a farmland in South Africa. They've never held a shovel since arriving in the States, but here's what they did. Meet David George Thomas. ICE Los Angeles has arrested the South African citizen for immigration violations. David George Thomas illegally entered the United States without inspection and has criminal convictions for domestic violence plus multiple DUIs. Nothing says welcome to the United States than beating the shit out of your American partner, I would say. It's scary. Now, meet South African-born Barrett Bushau. Now, he was removed by Enforcement and Removal Operation Seattle in June 2025 for sexual assault, sodomy, and forcible rape. ICE Denver arrested Simon Goos, 37-year-old white South African. He was arrested for DUI, use of a weapon to commit felony and terroristic threats. He'll remain in ICE custody pending immigration proceedings. Well, that escalated very quickly for the Boers. One thing about the Boers, they will always show their asses. It doesn't take much for them to reveal their true violent, racist, pedophile nature. Not even escaping to the States could wash away their sins. I've been following closely the United States ICE accounts, mainly for the mass deportation that is currently happening in the States. I feel horrible for those Haitians and Jamaicans that have been mistreated, beaten senseless, and incarcerated by the ICE. But also, I've been monitoring those accounts because of the gaps in the South African justice system. And since Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi exposed the corruption with the police service, I'm worried about the kind of criminals the United States will be deporting back to South Africa. South Africa, we are not monitoring those ICE accounts enough. We don't know what kind of criminals will be deported back to South Africa. We could have serial killers, sex offenders, cult leaders back in our countries. But also, according to refugee laws, you can't send asylum seekers back to the war-ridden countries. Donald Trump should know this. The United States doesn't get to do what they please. They don't get to do as they please in this world. Take people out of their country, lie to the world that there is a white genocide, and then whenever at the slightest inconvenience, they send them back home. No, we don't want these people. And according to the refugee laws, you're not allowed to send them back. The war in South Africa, the white genocide war in South Africa is not over yet. It's really not over. So why are you sending these people back? Because of crime? A little bit of crime never hurt nobody, as I was saying, especially if it's committed by the Boers. Come on, can't you take your fellow white people? Can't you take them on? Can't you teach them how to behave? Can't you teach them humanity? Come on, America, don't be weak. Super weak. Teach them a lesson. Don't send them back to their war-ridden country. It's very dangerous for them here. But on a serious note, guys, I'm really, really worried about the type of people that will be deported back to South Africa. I mean, how are we going to handle serial killers, people that sodomize other people, forcible rape, and with the high stats of GBV, gender-based violence in South Africa, and the high amount of femicide in South Africa, we can't afford to have such people back in our country. The United States will just have to keep them incarcerated. The ICE will just have to keep them incarcerated in the United States until our country is back to normal, until our country is free from the white genocide that is currently taking place. And is also that we also managed to curb the high femicide rate, the high gender-based violence occurrences. So I'm really worried. South Africa, we need to monitor these ICE accounts, because you never know what kind of person might walk back into our country. Are we ready to integrate such monsters in our country? No. So we need to monitor these accounts, see who we can take and who we can't take. But regardless, we don't want them back. And the law does not permit for them to come back. So they just have to deal. The United States doesn't get to pick and choose their victims. It goes back to the conversation that I had on the African Diaspora News channel that Donald Trump is selecting victims, selective victimhood. There are people that are facing real wars in their country. Countries like, El Salvador, countries like Afghanistan, they are facing real threats. People are dying on a daily basis, but you chose to roll out the red carpet for entitled Boers who fear equality, who want to reminisce about the apartheid days, who are angry that the government is not doing everything in their power to bring back the apartheid, to restore their privileges, their white skin privileges. So you decided to roll out the red carpet. Take everything they come with. Take the shit, take the crap that they come with. Since you want to be heroic, this is the time to really show your Superman heroic. You were selective with your victims. Stay with the consequences they bring into the country. A little bit of white crime never hurt nobody, Donald Trump. Super weak. What do you think about the segment? Comment to me in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share this broadcast. Subscribe to this channel. Turn on your notification bell so you don't miss these groundbreaking conversations right here.